Good morning. We're going to start with some cat cows, get warmed up. Happy Friday. Let me put on the comments so I can see them, if there are any. Go right into our donkey kicks. So I got a couple funny stories. Well, one funny, one not so funny, that I'll share today. But there are reasons I haven't been on stream the last 2 days working out, and I apologize to anyone who was expecting me on. But I have a bit of a family situation I'll explain. And on the funnier side of things, let's come downward. To child's pose. I got a complaint from somebody in the gym, but it's not the complaint you'd expect. Maybe somebody would complain that I'm live streaming and they got caught in the background or something like that. Good morning, Florida Nightmare. Good morning. Yeah, we're going to keep it up. Don't worry. There's some serious shit went down this week. But listen to this complaint. So one of the residents, and you guys were watching because I live streamed these. So there's a plethora of proof. And my landlord was cracking up by the end of the investigation. But I guess somebody came in here with his girlfriend and was working out while I was working out. And he claimed that I kept looking at her, or even maybe I was hitting on her, and it made them feel very uncomfortable. Now remember, the complaint came from the boyfriend, not the alleged person that I was hitting on. So my landlord went through the tape, because they got cameras in here too, and checked, and he was cracking up on the sidewalk, saying to me that this guy complains about every little thing, and that after reviewing the tapes, it seemed abundantly clear that the girl was checking me out, and I didn't even notice her. So we had a good laugh about that, and I'm really hoping that the guy comes in here while we're live streaming, because I'm going to call him out right to his face, because that's how I do things. So we could be in for really funny entertainment there. Let's do 5 up dogs. I'll tell you one thing, guys. I don't really try to date anymore. I kind of gave up on that years ago. But if I do have a crush on a woman, I think someone's charming, I'm interested, and it very rarely happens. I ain't doing anything in the gym. This is my me time, bro. This is the one and only time it would never happen. Whew. All right, let's go into our pigeon pose. So we're going to just go right leg up in the air briefly. Bring it down in front of us. Really stretching out the hips. Your dates are on the weights now. I like that, Bradshaw brother. I don't remember you, Bradshaw brother, but I'm glad to have you here this morning. So just want to give a big shout out to anybody out there. And more than a shout out, I want to give my love and support to anybody out there that's got a family member fighting dementia in any of its many forms, Alzheimer's, Lewy body, any kind of degenerative brain disease that doesn't really have a clear-cut cure yet. It's extremely hard. It's hard on the person obviously suffering, and it's also very hard on the family. Let's do another round of scissors. And for me,
My dad isn't that old, but he is now a couple of years into a fight, a war with really the big three: dementia, Alzheimer's, Lewy body. And it's been extremely hard. I have a great family with my mother and my brother always helping. I have great friends that are always supportive, which includes Stu, Mikey Betts, Frank. They've known from the very beginning. Frank's known pretty much before anybody. For all the shit everyone likes to give Frank for being an asshole, when the chips are down, he does give a big fuck. And I don't think anything upsets Frank more than when he sees me upset. He gets very, very angry. Not like Mets angry. He gets like, it's a different kind of angry. It's like he sees his brother suffering. It's very sweet. But anyways, my dad fell down a couple days ago and smashed his head on the ground. Had some internal bleeding in the brain. These are all things, if you have dementia, you really don't want to do. So he was in the ICU the last 2 nights. Now he's out of the ICU, but still in the hospital. And, who knows how it's going to go from here. But I've been running on very low sleep, and the live streams just weren't logistically possible with the hospital and whatnot. So there's your big reason why. And it's going to be a battle going forward. It's a battle that I haven't liked talking about because it feels like, you're looking for sympathy kind of thing. But I think the reality is there's a lot of people, millions of people, that are dealing with the same challenge, with the same impossibly hard reality of a family member going through dementia. And I think sharing a little more is better because with the exercise stuff, with everything else, the best feedback I get is people saying how it's helped them because they don't feel alone. So I'm going to be strong. I'm not going to be out here crying. But I want all of you guys out there struggling to know you're not alone. This is something a lot of families are dealing with in one way, shape, or another. Feels a little more like the cycle of life when it's your grandparents, when it's your actual parent. It definitely is different. With all that said, I'm not super religious, particularly in terms of a specific religion, but I do think there's a greater power at play here. And I do not think it's an accident that I spent the summer of 2003, look at this nice side stretch, watching Stu Feiner take care of Howie when he had dementia and he was toward the end. Never seen a son or a child of a parent more loving, more attentive, more patient. Stu could have kept him in the really nice nursing home he was in and just kind of visited, but no, we'd go there, we'd have him wheeled out, we'd pick him up, we'd put him in the car, we'd take him to Stu's, we'd put him in a chair in the backyard, we'd crack jokes about the nurse giving him sponge baths, and that was Howie and that was Stu. So it was really good for me to have that shown to me before my time came. And I text Stu all the time about it, and he's incredibly supportive. Yesterday, that's why Frank was so low in the New York office. Also, guys like Rowan and people that, you got to let people know why you're not there. All just so nice, so supportive. The Barstool community really does rally around one another, even though we're known to, shit on each other's faces when it really matters. And that means a lot. 77, 76, 75. Getting our 100 crunches in. Now, I did get in some basic stretching these last couple days, but no major lifts and no major cardio. So we're going to have a lot of mucus to clear off the old lungs, and it will feel amazing to get a pump again. 2019. That felt good. 100 sit-ups. Now we'll go to our reverse crunch. I'm going to tweet it out later today, but most I've ever done, I think in one set, was 200 reverse crunches on camera. I looked it up last night. The distance that you're lifting your legs by the end of 200 sit-ups, reverse crunches rather, is equivalent to a 1-story or maybe a 2-story building. I found that very cool. Very random, but very cool. Trying to find other ways to frame interesting equivalents to the workouts that we did. Because we're not going soft in here, we're going hard out. Thrusting those hips up, not quite touching the ground with our legs. Now let's flip back over into another dip. Another plank. I'm saying dips a lot. Love you, Dave K. Love all you guys. Thanks, Florida Nightmare. It's tough, man. And I'll tell you one other thing about having a parent with dementia. You obviously see the change very slowly and more quickly accelerate and happen. And you really spend a lot of time thinking about how things used to be and the things you used to do with your parent, whether it be a card game or playing tennis or whatever. And I can tell you, you will always look back and wish you had done more. And if you got healthy parents, call them today. Tell them you love them. Ask them a question about their life. If you have time, which you probably do, try to go see them, spend time with them, give them some memories. Because there will be a day when you look back and you're not going to think you're a bad kid or a bad son or daughter if you're not, obsessed with hanging out with your parents. But I'm just saying, making that little extra effort is everything. It really is everything. And you got to try to make the most of those relationships. It's really across life and family, friendships, work. Try to make the most of every relationship with other people, because at the end of the day, human connection is the only currency that's worth a fucking damn in life. And the connection you have with your nuclear family, it doesn't have to be blood. Your nuclear family, which I consider a couple of my friends to be, that's everything. That's what matters when the chips are down. And if you want to talk about toughness, and you have a disease with no light at the end of the tunnel, I think the old saying goes, when there's nothing left but the fall matters a great deal. Something like that. It's very true. It reminds me of guys like our guy Don, who's been fighting, I believe, and forgive me if I'm wrong, Don, stage 4 cancer since we met him, which was years ago. I think he's already dominated what his diagnosis was. And he just keeps fighting. He keeps fighting. Now, one of the only things doctors agree on when it comes to dementia is that exercise is pivotal in both prevention and fighting it when you have it. So one of the things that motivate me as well, wonder why a 36-year-old is such a gym rat. Well, I see what happens if you're not a gym rat. I see what happens if you don't really exercise, which my father wasn't big on. It's mind, body, and spirit. So we're doing our air squats now. God, it feels good to be back in the gym. It's a depressing couple of nights, days. And a big shout out to Frank, Mikey Betts, and Stu. Really, those big three have just been great friends. Great friends. But it sucks, man. It just sucks watching a parent go through this and watching the other parent become the caretaker. There's this ripple effect. It's exhausting. It's a dark cloud that's over your head every day, and you have to fight through it. And I've been doing it for over 2 years in silence. And now that things are getting a bit more aggressive, I think it's better that I just talk it out, let all my people know, let you guys know, rather than kind of operate in secrecy. If you remember on the podcast like 2 weeks ago, I looked like the biggest douchebag in the world because I was wearing sunglasses at like 10 a.m. The truth is, about 9:50 a.m., I was ravaged in tears, crying like a little child as Frank came into the gambling cave. It was a bad morning. I won't go into specifics. But both Frank and Mikey immediately told me, if you don't want to do it today, don't do it today, go home. If you want to do it, we'll have fun, we'll make sure, pod helps get you through the day kind of thing. So I wore those sunglasses because you would have been able to tell I was a wreck from my eyes. And those guys had me laughing within 5-10 minutes. I stayed at work the rest of the day rather than go home and feel sorry for myself. And Frank let me just, on our walks, he lets me just go off. It's a little side of funding enterprises you guys don't know. Through all the pandemonium and yelling and good content, Frank and Mikey and Stu have been helping me get through one of the hardest periods of my personal life. It's another reason why people need to chill the fuck out and not be so mean to each other and judgmental over stupid things, because a lot of people are struggling with hard shit. And just because they don't tell everybody doesn't mean that it's not happening. Air squats were good. Now we're getting into a little groin. Switching up the order of things today. Just keeping it fun, keeping it loose. Also a little distracted talking to you guys about my pops. But I did want to make a point of just getting it all out today. I promise this won't be like a daily thing. Unless something happens, God forbid. I appreciate the kind words, I really do. And that's the whole point. And it's not about me, it's about every family. Because it's not just the dementia patient. Obviously, they're the one who deserve the most love and support because they're aware of what's happening, but then when it's not, and scared and confused and depressed. But the toll it takes on family members around, it's really tough. It's hard to even explain. But I want all those families, I want all of you that are in a similar situation to just know you're very much not alone. And it's hard. And I'm not just talking about things like when they fall down and go to the hospital. I'm talking about every day, just talking on the phone and hearing the regression. It's very demoralizing. It can make you want to just give up on the day and just, curl up in the fetal position. And you gotta be strong. You have to be mentally strong. And the first person to do it for is them. You also got to do it for yourself. You got to do it for your family. You got to keep your job going. You got to keep life going. Because dementia is not a quick process. Everybody, it's different. Everybody, it's different amount of time, different amount of suffering. But I think the one commonality is it's never easy. All right, we're going to grab our leg, and then we're just going to sit. Opening up our hips. Love you, Florida Nightmare. I don't think it's really talked about enough either. It's one of those things, dementia. Everyone's used to grandparents having it, so nobody talks about that. And then when it's a parent, there isn't much to do. When you tell friends, you're just kind of informing them, and then it's a disease where literally every time someone asks how is it going, it's just always going worse. It doesn't get better. It just doesn't. It's a degenerative disease. With that said, if you're holding it all in on your own, it's a lot easier having a little support. It goes a long way, and I really urge you guys that are out there suffering in silence, you can DM me, you can tweet, you can whatever. The Tanks Army is not a normal army within Barstool. We're very much a support system for each other. So there you go, the cat's out of the bag. That's what I've been battling. That's my big fight right now. Before we do our cardio, let's get our arms a little bit warmed up with some twists. Feels so good to be back on live stream. I love you guys more than you know. Even though Florida Nightmare, Dave K, Veronica, few of you guys do the most chats. I know there's other people in here. And I have to say, you guys have gotten me in the best shape of my life because I always worked out every day. None of this is performative other than the fact that the days when I'm not feeling my best, I make even more of a point to go fucking nuts on the stream for y'all. And that's put me into a completely different shape physically. I'm a fucking monster right now. And I'll tell you, that's also helped with my mentals. Feeling strong, feeling capable, feeling like, the last couple nights, no sleep. I still got all my work done. I was still on the pod yesterday. I wasn't crying, even though, yesterday sucked ass. And again, that's where the gym is kind of my safe place, my savior. That's what I go back to. Florida Nightmare said, don't be silent. Keeping that shit in can be toxic. Always find someone to talk to. And he couldn't be more right. That's another thing about me and Frank's relationship that you guys don't see, and that's of my choosing, so I don't think it's very good. Actually, probably would be very good content, but, it's not something I think, let me record a selfie right now. But I talk to Frank every single day about my father, about how he's doing, about my family, about what I got to do that day. And he's got my back. He's got my back the whole fucking way when it matters. So it's just important you guys know that, He'll yell and scream about the Devils or the Mets or a broken bobblehead, but he's not yelling. He doesn't yell at me, guys. He's yelling from PTSD in his life. Anybody that doesn't see that, you're just not paying close enough attention. But I don't know how I would have done it without my boys, these last couple months. And that also extends to, I've got 3 or 4 friends that I really do consider nuclear family, best friends since preschool. And they call me all the time. Actually going to have a big dinner with all of them tomorrow night. And the reason I mention all of that is, again, you can't fight things in life completely by yourself. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't. Because if you have any sort of support that's available, just even talking can make a huge difference. I even took Frank with me to meet my parents at the MoMA 2 years ago to get his opinion on how things were. Thank you. Redeemable Life. Much love from the UK. I'm actually a dual citizen. And Frank came to the MoMA, and I knew we hadn't gotten the official diagnosis yet, but we all knew what was going on. But I also knew with Frank, he was one friend where Frank don't have a filter. He's not going to, unless he's on live television, he's not going to hold back. And I needed somebody to shoot it straight with me. So we spent the day at the MoMA, a few hours, and by the time Frank and I had taken 10 steps away, he turned to me and he said, yeah, he's definitely got it. You guys need to get to a doctor. And he was right. And that's what I needed to hear. Not some sugar-coated bullshit. Just an objective opinion. So that's where I've been the last couple days. Back today. Should be back tomorrow. Hopefully no more sudden emergencies this weekend. And we'll take it one day at a time. But if you're fighting through this stuff, you got a friend in me, and you're not alone. There's millions just like us. All right, let's start running. I really like this live version. Jason Mraz, The Remedy. It's got this live version. It's like 8 minutes. Straight jam. Sorry, chat. I will read the chat once I'm off the treadmill. I can't focus my eyes when I look backward running. It's one of my many deficiencies. catastrophe. Dance with All right, let's get back to our regular 7 speed, 8:34 minute mile pace. This is our normal 2 mile jog, run, middle of workout. Woo-wee! Come on. Get some positive energy going here. Get the endorphins released. Yeah, I wanna see it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you done me any better. Tried to beat you so hard that I melted. Fell right through the cracks. And now I'm trying to get back. The two I begin to do my best. It's not gonna stop me but divine intervention. Reckon it's again my turn to win some, learn some, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. Woo! way too long, checking myself in the mirror. No, back is just to try to see you clearer. Moving there. Woo! Work! Work! Rainy Friday morning. Perfect day to sleep in. Perfect day to feel sorry. Perfect day to think, I'm going to ease into my weekend. Or a perfect day to get to work. Go out and drink last night, no one cares. Discipline. 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 Woo! You are feeling down, demoralized, depressed, seasonal depression. Boss is a pain in the ass. Your girlfriend's cheating on you. Your boyfriend's cheating on you. Your best friend stabbed you in the back. Your boss is an asshole. You didn't get the promotion. In fact, you got the demotion. You're on a pip. You're not making enough money. Whatever the case is, start by making yourself stronger. Physically, mentally, spiritually. And then one by one, you knock down every challenge. You fight every challenge. You do everything in your power to make it impossible for you to be stopped. Be the fucking juggernaut, bitch. But it all starts with the first decision of the day. Am I going to sleep in? Wait till my auto 7 a.m. alarm goes off that I don't need? Or do I get my ass up? And do I attack?
on, boy. Seven. Come on. Come on. Unbelievable. Come on. Work through, work through, work through. Come on. All right, well over 2 miles. Not out of breath at all. Feel great. Bringing the speed down, sip of body armor. You're gonna go Maurice Sprint March. You go closer to 5 minutes than 10 minutes. Still got a touch of soreness in that left knee from Sunday's half marathon, but there's a difference between soreness and being hurt, and there's a difference between being hurt and injury. So I don't really think we're close to injury. We're just in soreness, which you got to work through. This
is going to really work your butts, your calves. Also, surprisingly, when you add in these little twists I'm doing, your pecs, your shoulders, most importantly, obliques, and tummy get engaged. If you actually feel your abs while you're twisting and walking uphill, you'll notice how sharp they feel because they're being worked constantly. And this also, you don't have to do psycho 15 incline. You can do it 1, 2, 3, work your way up. But walking on an incline is difficult, but simple. So it's a really good way as you start to walk, gradually start seeing toward the end of the walk if you can go uphill. And once you're strong enough to jog, same thing. Once you're running, same thing. Point being, no matter what level you're at, walking uphill is something for everybody. And it never ceases to be useful. It's useful at all levels when placed properly in a workout. For me, that's after the warm-up yoga, sit-ups, crunches, and at least 2 miles running. We did over 2 miles today. It's also stuff like the donkey kicks, fire hydrants. Those are all warming us up for when we run. When we're doing this uphill march twisting, the reason I don't feel any pain is because I'm all stretched out and warmed up. There is some method to my madness. A lot of madness, a little bit of method. One minute and 20 seconds. We're going to get back into the lift. And I'll read the chat. Sociality, I said to my peeps who passed away, no woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. Say, hey little sister, don't shed no tear. No woman, no cry. To say, when we used to start, oh, in the project you're in Jersey. "20 seconds. My only comedy, pain of losing family. But while I'm gone, shorty, everything is gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright. All right, we're gonna get the full 5 minutes. Throwing another 40 seconds on here. Ho ha, 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 ho ha. No woman, no cry. no woman, no cry. Hey, little sister, don't shed no tears. No woman, no cry. All right. Little Fuji's remix. Oh, that felt really good, guys. Nothing releases endorphins quite like running. Even Angela Martin tried it once. She got a runner's high and never did it again. Shout out to all the Office fans out there. That's one of the best testimonials ever. Angela Martin saying she ran once, got a runner's high, and never did it again. Fucking awesome movie. All right. Go Bulls. No way. Go Knicks. Yeah, Mikey Betts and I are going to be. I always jog at least 2 miles, normally a little bit more. I appreciate you, Redeemable Life. Keep rolling, baby. What's up, Veronica, Brian, Ethan? I appreciate you, Redeemable Truth and Florida Nightmare. For anybody that's joining now that missed the beginning, I was talking about how my dad has dementia. It's been he fell down. He's been in the ICU the last couple days. He's out of the ICU, but obviously, you know, we've been battling this a couple of years, really in silence. And I think it's time for me to kind of open up a little bit about it for all the stoolies out there, Tank's Army out there that battling the same fight. There's millions of people fighting dementia every day. And it takes a real toll on the family. It really does. It's very hard for everybody. Lucky I got a good big brother and wonderful mother, and we're all in it together, but it's really hard. And the other thing I emphasized earlier was that Frank has been aware since the beginning and has been absolutely nothing but a best friend through the whole thing. To this day, to right now, to this week, where yesterday there, you know, I was remote for the pod because we're trying to get through this ICU bit. That's the number one thing, man. If you're fighting any kind of fight in silence, you're going to find a lot of power in even just talking to one friend. For me, I think it really started with Frank. He was the first one to really know. It made it a lot easier to talk to a second friend. I'm not even talking about dramatic therapy sessions. I'm just saying letting your people know what you're going through, because you'd be surprised how people will rally around you and how getting some of it off your chest helps. Because I've been exhausted, guys. I've been really fucking mentally exhausted. And it's absolutely not because of Frank. It's the family stuff, man. It's an everyday thing. It's not a, once in a while. It's an everyday war. Fuck dementia. That's really the bottom line. And cherish your fucking friends. All right, let's get our second 100 sit-ups. Thank you, Ethan. Yeah, that's when, anytime in the last 2 years, you guys have really, I don't miss much, but anytime I've missed something due to a family thing, it's really been kind of the big secret the whole time. And Frank has been incredible. Again, he, Mikey, Stu, they all know, and they've been nothing but supportive. I fucking love those guys. They're all family to me. Anybody that thinks Frank just treats us like shit, you don't know what you're talking about, buddy. You bottom line have no fucking clue. You're just going off of clips. For anyone that wonders why I'm so loyal to him, it's a two-way street. He's as loyal to me. When the cards are down, when the chips are down, whatever the fucking saying is.
Now, one thing we are trying to figure out, if anybody on the street knows, is anywhere in the New York, Westchester area, good services for care. We're still trying to figure it all out, and I think hopefully those ICU, hospital room, and rehab, eventually when he comes home, that's where it's really gonna start to get tricky for us as a family. But we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it together. I'm gonna be more open with you guys, so the millions of families out there affected by this, at least a few of you guys will know you're not alone. You can always DM me, hit me up, tweet at me if the DMs aren't open, and I'll open them. Let's go into verse. Air scissors. Happy baby. One of the more ridiculous poses ever, which makes it one of my favorites. And Caroline Banowitz, once again, such a bitch. Not calling her that, that's the name of her song. If you want to hear Caroline on Spotify, download it, check it out. I'm going to continue my workout to her song because her song's kind of fiery. So I have it in my Spotify. When it comes on, I just jam out while I'm lifting. So downward dog, pedaling our feet, upward facing dog. Honestly, I'm doing this because I forgot to do it pre-run. We're going to step through, hand down, other hand up in the air. Nice twisting stretch. You know, sometimes I just lower my arm lazily. What we need to do here, gents, is focus. Exhale, reach forward. That's the proper transition. My father is about 70, Ethan, and we started seeing signs, or 71, a couple years ago, and it took way too long for us to actually go get a diagnosis and start some treatment. But just like in the Penguin's talking about his mother. She's got Alzheimer's, dementia, Lewy body, the works. It's one of those types of situations where he's kind of got the bad kind of, the worst kind. Sorry to hear that. Redeemable life. RIP to your dad. Prayers to your mom. And that's great that your mom is starting her fitness journey at 80. I mean, good Lord, none of us have an excuse. But yeah, my dad's 71 and my mom is 73, I think, and she's beautiful and so smart and young looking and sharp. She's really been just an absolute hero in how she's taken care of my father, and I worry about her a lot too. It's one of those other dynamics where you have the patient, you have the caretaker, you have the caretakers of the caretaker. It's a lot. It takes a village to get through this stuff. That's where it's really helpful to have guys like my best friends back home, and my brother and Frank and Mikey, where I can just say whatever the fuck I want to those guys. And they have my back. Sometimes that's all you need. Thanks, Redeemable. And yeah, more YouTube shorts going up. One went up last night on Up Dogs. So now we're going to move into our variant curls, 40-pound band, regular curl, hammer curl, reverse curl. What are the difference between the three? Regular, my palm faces the ceiling. Hammer, my palm is parallel to the other palm. And reverse, my palm is facing the ground. This is going to work the entire biceps, all of the muscles, all of the region, give you a full pump, isolate the muscle, mitigate any elbow movement, mitigate any supplementary muscles helping you move weight, which is going to typically happen with dumbbells. The other thing I love on these, particularly the reverse and the hammer, is how it works on your grip. I don't put handles on my bands. I just grip the band at the base. I don't know if that's recommended by, quote, experts or not, but I find it to be very helpful with my grip and my forearm strength because you have to really grab it and you have to hold it. Okay. Prayers to your mom. As a Britishman, as a fellow redcoat, I respect the mum. And I seriously hope she gets better soon. I'm 80 years old, God bless her. She sounds like a real fighter. All right. Going from our curls straight into our triceps. As you guys know, we're obviously going to superset this. So straight tricep pull down to start. Hands out to the sides at the flex point. And when we get to 10, we don't take a break. We simply twist. And we go into our skull crunchers. Now, rather than having to run back across the gym, into the sip of body armor, we're going to do our second triceps, and we're going to do our second biceps. Then we'll do third triceps, and then third biceps. When I say third, I'm talking about the superset. Whew! Friday morning, y'all. Most people are sleeping. And as winter comes, it's tougher. Seasonal depression is like a real thing. It's not even about your feelings, it's your body. There's less sunlight. So you're literally like a battery that's less charged. It's the way to look at it. And you just have to be tough because the battery's still there. There's still life. But you have to literally jumpstart yourself every morning when it's pitch black and freezing cold and there's 10 million excuses to take a week off, take 2 weeks off, take the holidays off. Who cares? It's the holidays. Let's all, Thanksgiving turns into a week. Christmas turns into 2 weeks. People slip the fuck up and then they try to come back in January with a New Year's resolution and the gym's totally packed with a bunch of people that have never been there before. Start now. Don't set yourself back. There's no reason for it. And the people that say it's okay, they're full of shit. It's just they're making themselves feel better. So yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna get some footage for you guys of me with my actual best friends since preschool. Guys that I've seen do everything from run away from hall monitors in middle school, like they were criminals, to bar brawls, to things I can't even actually talk about because they're so crazy. But we did some, I was friends with the bad boys. Had to come home with B plus, A minus, really A minus. You could get away with a B plus. And as long as I did that, what's the opposite of a helicopter parent? An ejector seat parent? I mean, I was just a free bird. Going to Robbie's, I'll be back Sunday. See that on Friday, show up Sunday. Now, should I have done in those 2 days? My Lord. So we're going through our variants here. Sorry. Is this our second or our third set? I think this is our second set. Yeah, this is our second set. Yeah, you talking about my friend's Florida nightmare? Yeah, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. My brother, Andrew, is an incredible brother. But I do also have other brothers that are not blood. They'll never be Andrew, don't get me wrong. But in a different way, they've been with me through school and stuff for my entire life, since preschool. And Ryan DeSilva is one of them. And he's as close to Joe Pesci in Casino as a human being could be. The scene with the pen. You guys remember that scene? Where the guy, De Niro asks the guy at the bar if he left his pen. And the guy tells him to shove the pen up his ass or something. And De Niro says, before I could even think why this guy was being so rude to me, Nicky just hit him. That is my boy. Most loyal friend. So you guys will meet Ryan tomorrow. I'm going to get some videos of him talking. I also think Barstool would make a fortune if they hired a couple of my lunatic friends. They could just revive Rough and Rowdy fighting each other. Just beat the shit out of each other. The only rule is they wouldn't let me fight. I'm the defenseless one in the group. That's the irony of it all. I was raised by wolves, like Large says. And I was the runt or the mutt. I was the weakling. They accepted me, protected me, and they taught me how to be dangerous, how not to be soft. All right, what time is it? 7:30. Got 30 minutes until wake up Barstool. My favorite show in the world. Barstool Sports Advisors on tonight. God, I love that show. Show's one of the very initial reasons I became a stoolie. The fact that I'm so close with Stu Feiner now is just crazy. I mean, even Big Cat, like we're not buddies, but if I ever text Big Cat or need something, he's there. He responds. He's there for me. And it's just crazy. I was just a diehard fan. Going through our variants. Even Dave, for that matter. I've never messaged Dave and not gotten a response. Now, with that said, I very rarely message Dave. But I mean, I'm such a speck on the radar, if even that, it shows, you know? Or still a lot of times just gets a reputation for not giving a shit, and that's just not true. I mean, if you wrong one of Dave's people, good fucking luck. He's a bulldog. He will come right at your fucking throat, and he'll get it too.
That's the kind of loyalty that resonates with me. I remember it from the guys I'll have dinner with tomorrow. Okay. Let's get back on the ground. We've done 3 sets on our curls, 3 sets on our triceps. Do a dip from another angle. And we'll push up. Let me push this back a little. So I want you guys to see this angle of it. Okay. So we're in the downward facing dog. See how I'm pedaling my feet, stretching out my calves one at a time. And then come down to Vinyasana, upward facing dog. Look how much I'm stretching out my lower back. We're going to push back up. Plant our left foot. Right knee to left elbow. See how I'm coming across my body? This is going to take really strong core strength. Ten. Step through. Plant your other hand. Exhale, reach forward. Notice how we're doing this little yoga flow right in the middle of the workout. I'm trying to show the point that yoga does not have to be standalone, does not have to just be to open or to close. It can be integrated throughout a workout very effectively. I just did 5 same side when I was supposed to be coming across. Honest mistake. But we're going to pay for it. I'm still doing 10 cross. Step through. We're going to do some more air squats. Yes, shout out to Stu. The way he took care of Howie, guys, it was an inspiration. It's something I think about every day when I'm dealing with my father. I think about, geez, man, you think you're putting in a big effort. Remember what Stu did? Remember Stu driving there and picking him up every day, and making sure he had a good laugh every day? Stu is an incredible son. The best I've ever seen. And that's not the on-camera bravado or the fun, all that stuff I love him for. But there's nothing I respect him for more than the way he took care of his dad and he takes care of his family. So watch Sports Advisors tonight. It's been hot all year. I saw a clip the other day of Ric Flair doing something like 400 air squats, but he wasn't really going down all the way. We're doing deep ones here, where you can see the 90-degree every time right here with my leg and my butt. We're not just hardly coming down. Now, Ric Flair's like 80, so yeah, total badass. But I did see that video and I thought, I hope people don't do air squats with just going down a quarter. And we're also coming up to our tippy toes to work the calves. On our tippy toes, bouncing. Back to the squat. Left knee over right elbow, looking up to the sky. Right knee over left elbow, looking up to the sky. Going back to our triceps. So we already did 3 sets for my favorite superset. Straight down. If you ever see a rope open in a crowded gym, this is your hack. We're going to get to 7, hands turning outward at the bottom at the flex point. Or 10, simply turn. What's up, Patrick?
How are you?
I'm all right. Still trying to wrap my head around the complaint I got. I really hope that guy comes back. I can't wait to have a talk with him.
What's the girlfriend for?
I don't know. I think Pedro said she was checking me out. She's like a little bit taller. That was the funniest thing. I literally didn't know who he was talking about.
Yeah.
And Pedro was cracking up. He's like, yeah.
Why would you even complain to the super about that?
Because he probably was so embarrassed he didn't want to say nothing to his girl. And then he thought he might be able to get me banned from the gym, I guess. But what he doesn't realize is I live in here and they know because they watch me every day.
Well, but I mean, you hitting on somebody is not like a. I mean, so what?
No, well, if I was bothering someone, that would be fair.
Sure.
But I literally don't, me talking to you right now, this is the most interaction I have in here.
Are you using the barbell?
No, you got it. Sorry, I took it off for my
No, you good.
pulled my triceps. Were you benching?
I was gonna do deadlift.
Deadlift?
Yeah.
I've been reading more and more that that's not so good for us. I mean, at least not if you do heavy, like don't do super heavy.
What's that?
I've been reading it's not so good for your knee joints and back.
I try not to lift heavy.
Okay, that's exactly the last other thing I said. As long as you don't do heavy.
Yeah.
So you're just all form?
Yeah, I try and make sure my knees are where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, be careful on that.
Yeah, I used to do CrossFit and I watch those people like destroy themselves. So.
Literally, you could fuck yourself up doing those, even doing it the right way. I think a professional deadlifter said the only reason to deadlift is if you're a professional deadlifter.
Yeah. There's no reason to go.
It's like if you're not a professional deadlifter, why would you do this? All right, back to our rope. It's also, if you know anything about me, the gym is not where I would try to pick someone up.
Yeah, I'm just.
I basically don't look at anyone that lives here. So we're going straight reverse curls here. Really building up the forearm, the grip strength. Patrick's trying to get weights for his deadlifts.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Be a legend. Get your workout. Yeah. I thought you said you're not doing heavy weight.
Still like 225.
Fucking beast.
I used to deadlift like 500 pounds.
That doesn't make this light.
This isn't.
Well, I used to lift 1,000. All right, buddy. Well,
This isn't bad.
I hate to break it to you, Patrick. You're not 6'8", 450. This is serious weight.
I try not to. I just try to make sure I don't put the weight on so that I can't keep my foot.
Yeah, be careful, brother. Time we got 40. All right, we're at 200 crunches. Am I okay here, Patrick?
Yeah. I'm just gonna be alright.
I'm gonna go for 300 now.
38. $50. $22, $21, $20, $19, $12, $11, $10, $9, $8, $7, $6, $5, $4, $2, $1, $0. Scissor. See how the boots get nice and round? That's from all the donkey kicks up the walks. Squats. Just kind of made that up as I went downward and let my feet go flat on the way down, upward, tuck my toes back. Now, seated, let's get some seated twists, no weight. This is for all levels. Also a great warm up, but it's going to burn your stomach quite well, regardless of where you put it in the workout. Great warm up though. Also good to loosen up the back if you're about to sit for a long time before a flight, before a Sunday football, whatever the case. All right, I'm going to quickly use the restroom and hit 400 sit-ups, and we're going to finish. All right. Sip of body armor. Got 15 minutes until Wake Up Barstool, FS1. So I've been doing all these bands, right? Just want to show you guys they work. They translate over in power. So I'm going to grab some big dumbbells. We're going to go with 40 pounders and work through curls. See, 40 pounder. Whew. And triceps. Follow it right up. Let's watch the hands here as we make a diamond. All the way down. Great for the triceps. All right. We're at 300 sit-ups. Let's get to 500 with a set of 200 here. These hurt, but we've done them before. That's 50, 150 left. What is that? It's 400, 100 left. Z362, 60. 50 left. Uh, 25, 24. It's 500. right into a plank. Okay, back to where we started. 5 cat-cows. Plant your right knee, left donkey kicks. Left leg down.
Jan?
All right, got 8 minutes. Great workout today. Yoga, over 100 air squats, 500 crunches. Ran over 2 miles, uphill walk. A lot of different types of curls, triceps, ground game planks. Good stuff, guys. Overall, good workout. Some more air squats. I'm damn near done, Patrick.
Are you good?
Good morning. All right. Last set. Just rotating hammers, getting a nice pump. And we're going to transition right into rotating reverse. Really building up the forearms here close. It's a great comeback day. Appreciate all the kind words. Love to everybody out there with a family member fighting dementia or any kind of degenerative disease. You're not alone. Your strength is validated. And just always know, you got a whole community here ready to support you. Because it's not easy. It really is not easy. Let's hold. It's a one arm hold with both. Other side. Arm's getting a huge pump right now. Reverse. All right. One last hold. Thanks again, chat. You guys are all legit. Hope I didn't overshare. It felt good to give some context on what's been going on with me. Love you all. All right. Change my shirt. There we go. All right. Great workout today. Be back tomorrow. Don't take no shit from nobody and enjoy the weekend. Rock and roll.